So that's how I got to $170,000 to purchase the Tannersville property. So right behind me, I got the first rental property that was purchased in 2021. So obviously through this rental property, with the purchase of every rental property comes a Lamborghini. Let me come. My dog just ran upstairs. I was calling him, but he didn't want to come. Again, just all of this, you know, in the heart of Pennsylvania, baby. I'm not going to say where it is because I get 100,000 views a video, so I don't want you guys to know where I live. So we're going to go and walk this property. Obviously, check out the awesome pool, diving straight into it. Little barbecue grill. This place looks like a fucking mess, and it's like 95 degrees out. I really don't even know why I'm making a video, but I'm sweating through my shirt. So I gotta bring you back all the way to where it started. Right now we're in the heart of Jackson Heights. This actually isn't the apartment that we grew up in. This is actually my grandma's apartment, but we used to live directly upstairs. There is a reason why I have to bring it back here, so I'm not just like tagging you along, but you know, again, I'll explain more when we get inside. Yeah, so like I was saying, this apartment here is literally right in the heart of Jackson Heights. Currently, right now, it's a rent-stabilized apartment for my grandma. The reason why I bring you back here is because we grew up here. It was, you know, starting off, it was my mom, my dad, my older sister, myself, and then my younger brother. A lot of Jackson Heights is very known for very heavy Latino community, but now I believe there's over like 75 languages spoken on 74th Street in Roosevelt. I just think it's pretty important for us to kind of understand really where it's coming from. So, you know, this is not no financial advice, by the way, but my parents pretty much had 3 of us, and you essentially get like a pretty good tax break when you have 3 kids. So my parents were actually able, don't quote me on this, but I think it's about like $3,000 to $5,000 per kid. There's obviously probably a cap, but my parents were able to stay in these apartments. You know, at the time they were probably paying around like $1,200, and I think that's where it'd still be at. So if you're trying to rent, just kidding, can't do that. So again, massive apartment. I just showed you the other side. Let's just look at this other side actually. Bam. It's a massive apartment. Was probably around like 1,100. There's 2 bedrooms. There's one over there. There's one over there. And pretty much my parents was able to raise us, you know, 3 kids here for about, I would say I was here for about like 4 years or 3 years. So, you know, you do $10,000 a year in like a tax return, or $9,000. I really didn't know what the math is. I don't have any kids. I'm not even married. No girlfriend or really anything. But they were able to save around like $9,000, and that was enough to get them a down payment for the house that we will actually be seeing next. And we obviously don't own it. I'm gonna try and, you know, I'm gonna try to finagle my way through it, but we'll get there. So, yo, also, if anyone is watching this from who lives in Jackson Heights, just look at this fucking elevator, bro. It looks like we're in the Upper East Side. I mean, this shit is nuts. Little buttons. I think the weirdest shit about this is like when you're recording and you just like, people are just like staring at you, like, you're just like, yeah, I'm like a YouTuber. Really kind of thing. Now we're in the heart of Woodside. We used to own a property down that way. It's like right there. I'm not gonna give the exact address. I was actually just standing in front of it and they're like, can you please leave my property? And I was like, this used to be kind of my property. I was 9 years old. I kind of should have asked him if I could go inside. Well, I told him it was for a YouTube video, and then the kid asked me to show him my account. Yeah, sure. I showed him my account. He said, you have literally no subscribers. This is the time and the chance to actually go. Please, if you made it this far, subscribe so I can go inside of my old childhood home. But to revert back, so my parents were actually able to buy the property in the beginning of 2001 for a whopping $279,000. If you can find that price in Queens now, I would like you to call or text me right at this number. It's going to be right here. If you don't know that number, then you're too young to be watching this video. But yeah, they were able to put like 3 or 5% down on that property. They sold it like 3 or 4 years later, right before the, like right when the bubble was bubbling, the housing bubble, when I should have been buying a property. It's so funny when you're like recording, everyone just looks at you like if you're a famous person. It's just like weird. They got it sold in 2004. We ended up going to buy something else in Maspeth, which is obviously the next place that we're going to go to. And now we are in Maspeth. So this house was purchased in 2005. It's actually the house where my parents live now. It was purchased in 2005 for $550,000. So essentially, they used all the money that they got from Woodside and put it as a down payment. I'm not very sure how much it was. Obviously, I was young, and like I said, the bubble was bubbling. But you know, the math behind it really, and I'm going to show you guys in a second what it looks like on the inside. It was a desirable place at one point, and now I don't know, not so much. I'm not really crazy about this area anymore. You know, it's gotten a little weird, but if you're from Maspeth and you watch this somehow, then I'm sorry, but you know what I'm talking about. So let's get you guys inside, and I'll explain a little bit more of the math. Yeah. So you know, entering the house, so 3 bedrooms, 1.5 bathrooms, and again, it's a really, you know, nice, decent size. I'll turn the camera in a few. Universal Studios. Kind of stinks. Anyway, so, alright, boom, this is the house. It's like, it looks really fucking big. But anyway, so, let's just say, again, putting numbers, your parents owe $0 on their house. You get an appraisal from a bank. The bank comes, well, the bank doesn't come, but they order an appraisal for you. And let's say the house appraises for $100,000. So that means you could initially sell it for $100,000. You could obviously sell it for more, but whatever. Or you can take out a loan against it, which that's when people say like, oh, I used my home as collateral. Like, you know, that fancy word that's always thrown around, like collateral this, collateral that, blah, blah. So if it appraises for $100,000 and you could take out up to like, usually you could take out up to 75%, and obviously there's little other obstacles in the underwrite and stuff like that that people might comment like, oh, like this, blah, 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 and that. I'm not here to get technical. I'm here to be as very basic as possible. If you guys want that, then you can definitely comment it, and I could get like way more into detail for it. But I really just want, again, business to be funny money again. Stop being so serious about this stuff. Like, yes, like money's cool, it's awesome, blah, blah, it's sexy, but it's you know, we're not doing that. So, $100,000, you take a 50% loan on it, and they give you $50,000, and with the $50,000, what do? You obviously go and buy a Bugatti. No, you don't. You obviously go and you'll get yourself a rental property, a down payment for a rental, and that's pretty much what we did, and we got $170,000 because we were able, I think my dad owed like $300,000 on it when we refinanced. In those 15 years of not refinancing, we paid down about like over like $100,000 on the loan of just principal. So we're gonna make it as simple, quick as possible, and I'm gonna try to do the math right here. So my parents purchased it for $550 in 2005. Then we didn't refinance for 15 years, and in 2020 is when we actually refinanced to pull some cash out so we could buy another property. My parents weren't aware of that. They just knew, get a loan, buy a house, continue going. I was the one that actually figured it out, which is why I say this is how I got my first rental property. Yes, my parents helped me by doing something like that, but you still had to go out and get it. So, $550, it appraised for $750,000, so we were able to take out up to 75% of the $750,000, and we didn't take it all, so just to do like an equal math, we were able to just pull out $170,000, so that's how I got to $170,000 to purchase the Tannersville property, and that's how we got all the way back there. Also, one last thing that I wanted to mention was, and it was actually pretty cool, and it's not really like a bragging thing, but it's kind of something that I do, and it came in the mail today, was one of my wholesale checks, so I would like to kind of open it with you guys and like, I guess, see how much money we made. I know how much money I made, but I'm just like, I want to show you guys. Wow. I don't know why it's reversed, but... Alright, so this is the inside. It's my mom right there. She's cooking. we'll go and see what she's making. But again, just walking through Miley. This is the living room. This is my dad sleeping. Oh, there's my grandma. This is the pool room. If I hit a shot right here, I'm gonna give someone who likes, not likes, someone who comments, give you $50. We're in the kitchen. I honestly don't really touch this because, you know, I'm not gonna say it, but I'm just saying it. Just look at the food. We just ate actually, and we turn all the way around. We're just gonna turn nice and slow. Living room. It's a pretty decent size. This is my favorite room, which is the ping pong room. If you would like to play against me one-on-one, click the link below. It's going to be my course where you can buy it, subscribe, and if you pass the course, then you play me. Just kidding. Subscribe. So, essentially speaking, we bought this property for $310,000. We were able to put 200. Fuck, why do I keep saying 200? I even keep thinking it too. I'm gonna make sure that my editor shows you guys all these like raw footages. But we bought it for we put 20% down. Obviously that's like pretty standard. That's where you hear and everyone goes crazy like, oh, 20%. I don't have 20% in this and that. There's other ways around it. That's fine. I'm not gonna explain now, but there's other ways around it. 20% down on 310. So whatever, we'll do the math here, and then I think we got the loan. I think the loan was like $232,000, so it was like $72,000 down, and we had it up on Airbnb for about a year. We were renting it for an average of like $651 a night, so it was about 65 to 75% occupied for the most part, and you know, obviously we've raised the price for higher seasons. We don't Airbnb it anymore. We kind of use it as a hub, or like a spot where our workers can stop here, shower, whatever, sleep, and then they'll go over to Scranton, where we have some other properties, some other projects that we manage. And I mean, there's another reason why we don't do it anymore. So yeah, I'm obviously not here to lecture you guys. That's pretty much how I got here. So please like, comment, subscribe, and obviously if you guys want to see a video where I can maybe explain a certain situation, how you can get your first property, different methods to do it, I definitely can. But just comment what you guys want to see, and I'll show it, except for, you know, things that are not appropriate to upload onto to YouTube. So, thanks.